Hi, Brooke.
Hello. Thanks
How
for
are
having
you?
me. Very good.
How excited are you to be here?
I'm excited and nervous.
There'll be no.
It's gonna be like, all right,
2 minutes in, you're gonna sink
you're
in.
just gonna chill.
That's
Perfect.
That's the biggest thing, Brooke. And when you text me, you're like, Rich, how are we gonna go about the episode? I always say this to every guest: just pretend this is your living room couch, lay back, take a deep breath, and let's just all have a great conversation. That's all it's about. That's Eric.
Brooke, thank you so much for coming over here. Like we always say, it's not really easy to get in front of the camera and actually just sit
Pour your
down,
heart.
vibe, open up your heart, and really like express about everybody's different journey, right? But it's a little bit different, right? It's a little bit different about her, right?
Brooke's an artist.
Something that something that we like very much.
Put the glasses back on. Eric's not allowed to take his glasses off today. But Brooke, something that we always talk about here is being the creative person, being artistic, is being your own identity, and really just not caring, right? And I felt that from your profile. Like, you're just you. You're very like chill, good vibes, and I want to hear more about who is Brooke. Tell us a little bit more who you are, where you come from, your beliefs, your hobbies, everything. Let's hear it.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I guess I'd say I'm an artist at heart. I try my best to create as much as possible in between all of the running around I do. I love to be outside. I'm a hiker. I love to visit.
Put the mic a little bit, there you go.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm an adventurer for sure. I like to explore the world and get some inspiration from what's around me. So,
Fire.
Yeah.
And like when it comes to, let's say like if people had to explain Brooke's personality into 3 words, what would you say?
I get bubbly a lot.
Okay.
Creative.
Okay.
And patient.
Patient.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one to have.
Patience definitely one that helps you out a lot for sure. I mean, how has that brought like benefits to you and like the ones around you and where you're going in life?
I think people expect a lot from the world, and to be patient is such a virtue because if you just allow things to come to you rather than like constantly trying to grab at stuff, what is meant for you will come to you as long as you're patient. So I think that has definitely helped me get to where I am in this industry especially, but also with like friends and family and anything.
Have you always been like that, or is this something that kind of like slowly grew into you? Yeah.
I think my mom's that way.
Yeah. It comes from the DNA.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I'm super like chill, patient. My mom is like same way. My dad, on the other hand, craziness.
There's always have to be that 50-50, right?
Everyone is a little bit, a little crazy.
So for the people that really don't know about you, what industry are you in?
Yes.
I'm in the cannabis industry. It's wonderful. It's
I love it.
So much fun. I get to see and explore.
Why do you
stuff.
like it so much?
Cannabis?
I mean,
Cannabis industry itself.
I can tell you 100 things why I like it so much. But like, what got you like interested in the industry, getting into in the industry?
I've always been into herbalism, natural remedy, tea, anything that will help heal my body naturally versus something that might be a little toxic. Yeah.
It's like holistic healing, right? That they talk about.
For sure. I started almost 5 years ago in the industry, and I've seen it grow and expand in some beautiful ways. It's definitely a ride.
It's crazy, right? How much it has grown in like the last 5 years.
It's changed so much,
especially here in Massachusetts.
That was my next question. I mean, were you always a Mass girl, or like where were you raised?
In Massachusetts.
Okay, so high school here, middle school here, everything here.
Yep. So up to middle school, and then my father's a Marine, so I did a little bit of traveling.
Hoorah.
Yeah. I did a little bit of traveling from middle school to high school, but then I came back, and I've been in Massachusetts since I graduated.
So especially our state is a super like usually the last state to like be okay with things like this. So cannabis being such a controversial like thing, right, in the state. I mean, at the end of the day, let me ask you this: did you think the progress of marijuana would go as quick as it did in Massachusetts?
I'm not sure. I feel like I hit the ground running. I started when recreational was first a thing, and medical was a lot slower. And then as soon as a couple rec doors opened, they started to just pop up out of nowhere, and it really took me by surprise because I was involved with the very first cannabis dispensary, which was Cultivate in Leicester.
Yes.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. So I got to see like the shuttles coming in and the lines around the building.
Yes,
and
dude. Oh my
just
God.
constant.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I bet it was craziness.
It was wild. Yeah, for
And it
sure.
was so new too to everybody around here. So
How'd you feel like when that whole like because we always talk about like Richie was saying like the whole build up to it of legalizing and making it recreational, like when it was happening in front of you, you're seeing like you said like the line around the building, like how did you feel? Like were you like, whoa, is this real? Like was it?
Yeah, it was very surprising. I kind of came more towards the end of the big hype of it.
Okay.
But we still had cameras around us all the time. A lot of people interviewing the owner of the building and the company and stuff. So I definitely got to see it from when there was like maybe 2 or 3 dispensaries open in Massachusetts. But it was exciting. It was very exciting. I learned so much within the first month of being there that I didn't think I was going to learn that fast.
You were just like, I'm just gonna be like giving weed and selling whatever it is, and didn't think like the education would be so deep with it.
Yeah, especially because they like cross-trained me into medical. So it was, yeah.
it's just a whole nother world.
Way more involved, more personal. People are there for serious
Specific things,
issues.
yeah.
Yeah, which is what I love about cannabis is that it's such a medicine.
Yeah.
Well, tell me something.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Eric pulls out the pre-roll.
Because I'm a cannabis person. I love cannabis.
A connoisseur.
You know, I'm a big supporter of cannabis. Just don't tell anybody. Right. So, when it comes down to like breaking down to like, see like this D9 THC,
All the facts and percentages.
or like THCA, like what does these things actually mean? Like THC, like no, I just know how to smoke.
I love it, dude. I love it.
I just know how to smoke, but I just want to really know like
Yes,
what
explain.
like
So-
what are like
So everybody's always talking about THC.
Yes.
High THC, the better. That's the psychoactive property inside of cannabis. The TAC is total active cannabinoids. So that's everything that plant and that strain has to offer. You're getting more. So there's THC, there's CBD, which I'm sure you're very familiar with.
Yep.
It's anti-stress, anti-inflammation. I was a recreational consumer. I do have anxiety, so I have found certain strains will reduce that anxiety, which is great. But yeah, just to get high, I guess. But like I said, I got into it because I believe in the plant itself and the beauty of the healing properties that it has. And I was really, really trying to get into just being in contact with the medical patients because I know that it's such a healer. So yeah, it's
Ask you this, I mean, Brooke, what they say is like just like the stigma that's stuck to weed, right? I mean, a lot of times marijuana, cannabis, however way we want to call it,
it's the gateway drug.
It tastes like the gateway drug and all this and all that and all. I mean, what's your opinion about the families who are truly like 100% against marijuana and like, what's the best approach for those types of people?
it doesn't work for everybody. I don't push what somebody isn't willing to absorb. I'll give them facts and science and be like, well, this has worked for me, or like kind of ease them into it. But people can think what they want, and they're okay with that, and I'm okay with that. The gateway thing though gets me because
Drives me crazy too.
yeah, well, I've actually kind of been looking at it as more of, it's kind of ironic because I think that cannabis being a gateway drug can also be looked at in a different way, where now I'm kind of viewing it as it is a gateway drug. It's a gateway to allowing other entheogens and other plant matters such as like mushrooms or ketamines or anything that's going to actually like help us and heal like PTSD
Yes.
and all that. That's
ketamine therapy.
It's coming around the corner. So it kind of is a gateway drug. We legalized cannabis.
Right, that
What was the year? I'm
cannabis
sorry.
has. Oh my God,
I'm so
Briggs.
sorry.
It's 88.
88. All right.
All right,
Oh, here we go. Briggs is gonna about to dissect you.
he's gonna go to astronomy and all that.
Ooh, okay.
Anyways, have you ever had a situation where you felt uncomfortable because of those type of people, where maybe you were like, "Oh crap, let me hide the fact."
Yeah, I honestly, I haven't really had too much encounters of that. My biggest one is like going in public high.
With your own, like,
yeah, it's my own head sometimes. I'm like, okay, I'm a little too high for this social
I
setting.
feel
right
that
now,
so
but-
much. Where you're looking around, you're like, bro, that person definitely knows I'm baked.
Yeah, and I have had some experiences with my family where they're like, some of my family is not into it, and that's okay. Like they're nurses or doctors
Yeah.
or whatnot, but I've actually found that within the past like 3 years, they've kind of eased up on it, and they're like, well, tell me more. And I'm like, all right, let's talk about it over
That's dope.
Thanksgiving.
Chad, if you have any questions for Brooke about cannabis or anything involving the cannabis industry, please drop your comments. We want some spicy questions here. We want to get some questions going because Brooke has a lot to tell us.
Inform the people.
She's been in the industry for how long now?
Going on 5 years.
5 years, and she's all about it, and she knows a lot about it. She's involved with one of the biggest companies, distribution company. Wiz Khalifa came here with Khalifa Kush. She was part of organizing that whole event out with her company. Tell us more about weed has evolved.
It's crazy.
So
Crazy,
much.
crazy.
Yeah.
For
I mean,
sure.
when I started smoking, it was all like, oh my God, under the table thing. Like, you had to legit, like,
Same.
You know
Yeah,
how
to hide it.
you know
Yeah.
you know how annoying I am, right, bro? I always tell Richie, I'm like, dude, if you're gonna buy weed, don't buy indica in the couch. You know what I mean?
No, you don't like the indica?
No, I'm a sativa. I'm a dominant.
yo,
I'm a sativa.
Ready? Listen. Tell me the story you told me with Wiz Khalifa Kush before we started. You were talking about how
That's
it's a
straight
hybrid.
sativa. I
how
mean,
it's
no,
a
no,
hybrid,
no,
it's
no.
a hybrid indica, but you were saying that like you.
So we smoked it at the event, and I was fine. I was social, I was talking, and very high, but still like functioning. And it's labeled as a hybrid indica. However, I went home, smoked it a couple hours before bed, and I was thinking, oh, well, it'll be like pretty mellow at first, and then I'll kind of like fade out and go to sleep. But I ended up like power cleaning my house, and I was like, all right.
That happened.
But he will not smoke any other weed but his weed,
Yep.
and he's on stage all the time, so,
So it would
it
make
has
sense.
to be that for him.
and,
Know what it is? My bad for cutting you off, bro. Know what I think it is like when it's the hybrid indica, I don't think it's necessarily the thing of like for you to go to sleep part of it. It's just probably mellows you out,
Yeah.
but you still have energy.
Yeah, for sure. I just found it very cerebral.
I thought, honestly,
Yeah, it was super active. I remember.
Oh, it was so
Yeah.
dude.
So-
That whole event, we were
we-
so active, bro.
we went there and they gave us so many samples.
Yeah, that's
like I
great.
came home with probably like 5 little things and like so many pre-rolls in my pockets. Like I smoked Wiz Khalifa Kush probably for like a good like month after the event.
Oh, I love
Like
that.
I mean it. Like and it was
Nice.
dope. Like the ladies came to us like 100 times with the boxes and
Dude, it
you
was like
like-
bottle service, right?
literally.
Yeah, they're like handing you.
so cool.
Remember that, Briggs?
So it was funny because whenever I was smoking that, there was times where Eric or like Oz would come over and we would smoke like, I'm not gonna mention the dispensary, but local dispensaries weed, and then I would smoke like I'll be like, bro, this is
Different.
You feel the difference. It tastes
Yeah.
is different, and the energy just behind it is
Yeah,
his
it's
weed is
great.
completely different.
I love it. I, think
I
it's
love
awesome.
it.
I'm more of the Kush. I like the Kush a little bit better than the
Yeah.
mints. The mints kind of gets my throat a little bit.
I like the
but
mints, yeah.
Yeah, it's good flavor.
Yeah,
for sure.
really good flavor. I love
Yeah.
that.
Wait, what do you mean mints and Kush?
They have mint flavored.
Khalifa
Oh,
mints.
okay.
The Khalifa
Fire.
mints is like the mint tube, and then the other
Yeah.
one's just black. and
Oh,
yellow.
got you. Yeah, okay. Oh, that makes sense. Now that's why they had two.
So is
different
Khalifa
ones.
Kush already in the dispensaries?
Oh yeah, they're in the dispensaries. It is kind of slim picking. Like
Yeah.
we only have so much that we produce inside
Yeah.
of the. As far as quantity goes, it's very hard for me to say. I'm not as involved inside of the cultivation
Yeah.
process. But I know that the Uxbridge facility is like 10 football fields.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
talking metric tons
Yeah,
of
it's-
Kush, buddy.
It's a lot. But we have like Cresco, Floracal, High Supply, so there's all different.
all different.
Yeah,
So now
different tiers.
I have a question because I've heard this all the time, and it's scary because the cannabis industry is a very profitable industry, 100%. But I
Volatile.
heard it's a very risky industry. Why? Because the feds can come in and shut you down at any time. Is that true?
I believe so.
There's a guy facing life in Cali right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in jail still waiting to be expunged for cannabis charges, which
is
super
crazy.
Insane,
unfortunate.
bro.
Yeah, I mean, if it's non-violent, I think they maybe potentially will get out sooner. But
Yeah.
it is
At
risky.
the end of the day, Brooke, I mean, the evolution of cannabis, right? I mean, it's something that has changed a lot. And before, when we talked about cannabis, it used to be just, oh, let me smoke weed. Nowadays, there's so many ways to consume marijuana.
Absolutely.
So first of all, I want to talk about what are the main ways that people usually consume marijuana nowadays.
Believe it or not, flower is still like right
Number
at the
one.
top. Yeah, people love to roll up.
Okay.
Definitely flower, but there's edibles, concentrates, vapes, tinctures. The big thing now is like seltzers. The
Wait,
drinks.
what?
I've tried those.
Yeah.
Those are fire.
Yeah, the drinks are really up and coming.
This is news
How
to me.
concentrated is it?
It's 5 milligrams mostly. Usually it's about 5 milligrams inside of one can.
Because I've always had the feeling where edibles they hit me a lot harder than like smoking.
Yeah.
Would it be the same
Me
feeling
too.
with the seltzers?
It is closest to the edible feeling.
Okay,
Seltzers
so it
are
lasts
crazy.
longer.
Quicker.
Quicker.
It's quicker. Yeah, it's like a beer.
What would you
It's
say?
like drinking like a hard beer.
Yeah, I relate it to like wine.
Okay.
Kind of, you kind of get like a wine, like happy feeling.
like nice little buzz.
yeah,
type.
you feel warm.
I've
What
heard
would you say
conspiracies
is-
about them though? The nanotech with the THC, because like the way that it's distributed. I didn't mean to cut you off to that.
No, you're good.
But,
Don't worry.
I've heard
Don't do
like,
it again.
I've heard a couple things about like because how the THC gets released into your body is different in each way that you consume it, right? So it's like edibles. Sometimes they break down concentrate and they bake it into like the oils of the edibles, and then you just eat it, right? And then the way that the seltzer is, the way that it gets distributed into your body, it's like a little different, and it involves some sort of nanotech.
Yeah,
Right.
it was sublingual.
Yeah.
So you're getting sublingual, and then it's also going through like your liver.
Yeah.
Really?
So it's like a little
Yeah.
different.
And your liver
yeah.
is literally breaking it down to every little.
Wait,
like,
guys, let's let Brooke get into this.
Get
with us,
into it,
too. How does
because
it
I
work?
want to know. I want to know.
So you have something called the endocannabinoid system inside of your body,
Okay.
which is what's actually holding on and binding to all of the cannabinoids that are in cannabis.
this is something we naturally produce in our bodies.
Yes, us and bees.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah, yeah, and probably some other animals that I'm not
I like
aware
bees.
of. Me too. Really
cool. We
important.
die without bees, guys.
Facts. But yeah, so you have like CB1 receptors, which are mostly in your brain and in your head, and then your CB2 receptors are more like in your gut. So
Oh, shit,
when you're
okay.
eating edibles, it's mostly going to go through your CB2 receptors, your liver, your gallbladder. And then the CB1 receptors are kind of hit a little bit more with like smoking, or like a tincture.
Does like your gut health like make a difference in how you absorb it?
Absolutely. I think anything you're consuming, just the structure of your individual body itself
Yeah.
is because everyone's different.
Yeah.
So like just because like you could take 500 milligrams of edibles doesn't mean I could.
Okay.
And the high is different too.
I did that once.
That's crazy.
What's
How'd you feel?
I honestly,
yo? Was that the day at your house?
no, this was actually the day that it was actually Kayo's mom's birthday, and we had a restaurant like kind of like birthday.
Bro, I remember
Yeah.
that. We went to
So-
135 Grill.
I'm thinking like I'm a macho man,
That
right?
was hilarious.
I'm over here thinking like I'm a macho man. I'm like, okay. No, let me take this whole Willy Wonka bar.
Oh,
right?
the Willy Wonka bar.
The
Wonka
400 milligram.
It's too much.
400 milligram, right? And
For
I'm
anyone,
like,
Brooke.
I'll take that to the chest. Dude, literally, I was sitting down, but my body was feeling like I was doing this. The whole time I felt like my body was doing that, and I'm
Vibrating.
like,
You're getting waves.
and then I look at the people around me. I'm like, am I moving?
Bro.
You know, bro. And I was like, damn, like this is some strong shit.
So do you eat edibles now, or you just mostly smoke?
Well, I'm actually a certified dog and a savage, and so I actually, whatever it takes, I'm taking it. So we got
Brooke's
some.
like holding
JP
herself there. She's like, oh,
JP gave you some edibles that I gave you. I put them in your gym bag.
Yeah, so I got some edibles from a guy from our gym, and he told us to try it out because he's actually coming out with a freaking brand. I don't know.
She heard about it. She knows
Nice.
about it.
That's awesome.
Spark.
Oh
So-
yeah.
Oh.
Spark.
I have a question.
Oh,
bro.
so is it actually like a
Yeah,
like a
North
real
Adams.
brand?
Yeah. North Adams, yeah.
I have a question for you. What's
promo
your
for you,
favorite
JP.
form of consumption?
I'm a flower girl. I do really love dabs though. I just
Dabs
love
are
it's
top tier.
It's so nice. I'm not doing that again. I promise you, I'm not doing it. Yeah, the dabs are good. I love the solventless extract. I think it's like the most natural. And the high lasts a really long time.
That's for
Yeah.
sure.
So I heard that dabs is a very delicate way to consume it because at the end of the day, if you heat it up too much,
You have to
you're gonna mess it
know.
up. If
Yeah.
you know, if you do it too cold, like you're not getting the best benefits from it. So are you like the one that like actually like looks into it and does it at the right temperature and
I was about to say, do
everything?
you have a temperature gauge for
Yeah.
your banger?
have to.
I would love to say that I am, but I am not.
No?
I'm
Okay.
just like, I'm going to heat this up
Heat
and
it up.
wait.
You see it's red.
and
Wait
then-
a second.
Yeah.
Dude, I
there
think it's like
are-
a feel too. Like you know when
yeah.
Bring it out, bring it out, bring it out.
If it hurts your skin, right? If I that's how I used to do it. If it would hurt my skin
If it
over the
burns
banger.
you.
Yeah, don't do it.
it's. So what I've learned with like when I
Yo,
used to,
Briggs,
when I
you
tried
used to
dabs,
do that?
you heat it up to when it's red, but then like you let it cool down, and when you put your hand like this near it, if you can feel a little heat, that's like I guess it's the perfect point.
Yeah. Yeah, there's people out there, there's definitely people in this industry that would hate that I'm saying this, but if I want a dab now, I'm just going
Rip
to
it.
take a hot one.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I think
504s?
I'm,
Oh my God.
How long is it usually? Like, is it like a big like a snot?
Do you take globbers or what?
I don't. I'm a lightweight.
Like a line?
I'm a lightweight. So I do the
ditto.
rice size and I'm
Roll
good.
rich, relax. We're on YouTube.
Yeah, just like a little bit, like a rice size, I'd say, for myself.
I think into a serious talk. Cannabis has, of course, the fun side to it, where people just do it for fun to get high, and it's a good feeling to relax, whatever it is. But I mean, one of the main things here that I see that sources that cannabis has been helping cure, and not just cure, but like help, of course, because we don't have the full cure for cancer, but it does help out a lot with cancer patients with pain, with anxiety, and lots of times when they're just the chemo, right, just destroys people, and the cannabis helps them get through that phase. I mean, can we get more into the medical side of it? I mean, I have here, so it says here, PTSD, multiple, it says here pain, anxiety, epilepsy,
Multiple
glaucoma,
sclerosis.
muscle spasms, inflammatory bowel disease. So there's plenty of things that medical marijuana today helps out with, right? Now, first, what's your opinion about that? I mean, do you think it's something that's going to become more and more okay in our country? What do you think?
Yeah, I absolutely think it's definitely, the stigma is going away.
Cool.
And my job and a lot of people's jobs inside of the dispensaries is to break down that stigma. And to just open up more dialogue to why we're using it, why it's recreational and allowed to be in these states. I think holding on to the medical thing is beautiful for cannabis because that's why it started. And even if you're using it recreational, you're using it for stress. Like your stress receptors in your body are literally responding to you every single time you're stressed out. So that's medical, in my opinion. Your mental health is so important. Probably one of the most important things.
We talk about that a lot here.
Yeah, and if you're using it, you want to say it's recreational, fine. But I think anybody's using it
For
to
medical
use in medical.
purposes.
Yeah.
I actually have a question to
Definitely.
stem off that. You know how some people sometimes will be like, "Oh, when I smoke, I get paranoid," and then like so to reference off like the stress thing. Do you think they get paranoid because of the weed they're smoking, or just because their body just didn't receive it in a good way?
It could be both.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everybody's different. Everybody's buildup is different. But if you're more stressed out, there's definitely strains out there that will make you more stressed out. Sativas are usually kind of one of those where it's going to get your brain going a little bit more. You think a little bit more. Whereas, like, I guess if you lean more into the indica side,
Yeah.
it can help relax your physical body, which would make you feel less stressed.
Where you're just like,
Yeah, where you're
Feeling light.
relaxing. We're trying to really get away from in this industry from sativa hybrid indica because there's so much more to it. We're really trying to break through to like terpenes and cannabinoids.
Dude, I like
and-
Terpenes are huge.
Yeah.
So I mean, can you
So
explain
good.
a little bit terpenes and cannabinoids and all that?
Yeah, so the terpenes are something that's found in most plants and like even in candles, there's like lavender, but cannabis has like 5 major terpenes: myrcene, linalool, caryophyllene, pinene, and limonene.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're really smart about this.
And what are those? Are those like just the psychoactive things?
They're not
in them?
psychoactive. No, it's closer to the.
It's like vitamins type thing, different to the vitamins that
It's
it
like,
can.
I like to
Aren't
relate it
they
to like
aromatic?
aromatherapy,
Yeah,
kind of.
aromatic.
Yeah, and like the flavor that you're
Okay.
getting. So my
That's
company
cool.
has something called, or the company I work for has something called Good News, and they're disposable vape pens, and they're terpene based. So the flavor and the
It's rich in
smell that
flavor.
you're getting is from those terpenes specifically, and then we have a THC that's just extracted, just a hybrid THC with terpene, and that's it.
I
Okay,
just learned something new.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah.
I mean, sticking especially now to we got into this field, right? The medical side of things. I mean, a huge thing I've always hear is the medical field being against marijuana being served to like kids with like cancer, kids with like epilepsy, kids with like all these like what's that? Is it
Seizures.
what's the one where they shake a lot? What's the disease where
Parkinson's?
Parkinson's,
But
yes.
that's most for old. That's for old people.
No,
though.
but there's kids who have really
Yeah,
bad
there
Parkinson's.
is.
There's like
Really?
yeah, like little kids
Yeah.
growing up and I've seen where they
Wow.
go and they'll like eat a gummy or it's like an oil that they'll put on their tongue,
Like a
they'll
tincture.
drip it, and you'll literally see them from shaking
Yeah.
to like not shaking.
I've seen those.
And
It's
it's-
a beautiful plant.
It's awesome. You know what I
really
mean?
is.
I mean, what's your opinion about that involving cannabis, THC with kids into treatment for diseases with kids?
I think I really do think that it is up to the parent and up to whether or not they want to introduce that to their child.
Mm-hmm.
If they're having some serious issues like that and it's something that they've heard through the grapevine that could help them, then I'll let them.
I would prefer to see my kid taking cannabis or some type of THC
Right.
than taking steroids.
Whatever else, yeah.
Whatever
I don't
other.
know, I wouldn't
Yeah.
be as inclined to let my kid take a psychoactive compound. In my and
I agree,
that
Bruce.
just on that's on my personal view because it's like I don't know. Obviously, there's a lot of benefits to the cannabis, right? And I was literally about to ask you a question. What's like the safest method of
Yes.
like consumption that like somebody could go about to get the beneficial aspects of cannabis, but without
Harming
like,
their
getting-
body.
and harming their body and like not
Or the
really, like,
psychoactive side.
psychoactive aspect of it, just getting like the medical benefits and like what's truly in there.
So there are a lot of tinctures out there. And
A lot of what?
Tinctures.
What do you mean by that?
It's like a droplet.
The droplets. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a small bottle,
Bring it a little closer.
droplet.
Yeah.
And you just essentially like pinch the top of it, and it fills up the little tube.
Okay. Yeah. Just like the little honey droplets.
Yeah. And there's a company out there that's been around for so long, since before it was legal in
Yeah.
Massachusetts, called Charlotte's Web.
Okay.
And that's huge in the medical side of
I've
things.
had some of their edibles.
Yeah.
A Betty, aren't there bedtime Betties or something like that?
Oh, that's
oh
a
no, there's a
that's
different brand.
company,
Yeah, different brand, but
They're
and
very good though. I like them too.
And the example Richie brought up with like the kids being helped, that's what they use actually. It's not the psychoactive side of it, because
The cannabinoids.
Yeah, because I think what Brick's saying is very important to hunker down on and to make sure everyone listens. Is when Richie was saying that is like. Because sometimes there's the stigma of like the psychoactive parts, like, oh, you're giving
Yeah.
your kid weed, like,
Which
what are
is
you
the
doing?
THC part of it.
Yeah.
THC,
Yeah.
or
And a lo-
THCA.
Yes, and like I feel with these tinctures, like you were saying, majority of them is for medical use.
So
it
they're,
has
they're probably
the
low on
CBD.
THC and they're higher on.
So there's something called the entourage effect, and people are always like, "Do you just have CBD?" And some dispensaries now will carry just straight CBD tinctures or gummies or like a topical or something like that.
that's like medical grade though, right?
Yeah, most
Or
of the
is
stuff
it like the same shit that you'd buy at the gas station?
different from the gas station completely. The endocannabinoid system really wants that entourage effect. So to open up to receive CBD, you really kind of do need a little bit of THC as well. It just it's like cheese and wine. You know, they
It
kind
has
of
to
just
go
go
together.
together.
Yeah.
It helps you receive it better. However, you don't necessarily need it. But there's a lot of tinctures and different ways to go about giving, I'd say, a child some CBD or CBG, any of the cannabinoids that are not psychoactive.
Yeah, I would prefer to give my kids any type of cannabis like thing rather than giving them like, let's say,
Straight to drugs,
oxycodone
yeah.
for
Yeah.
pain. You know what I mean?
Because it's so
I would prefer to give them that than fucking chemicals
All day.
any
Yeah.
day. You know what I mean?
Holistic.
All day.
Like,
especially with like the drugs they push nowadays, like Adderall, Ritalin,
bro, my
and
kids
things
are in
like that.
sports, bro, and they break an arm, break a leg or something. And the doctor tries to give them Oxy and things like that. Bro, no, get away from that. You're not getting prescribed. Like, you like come do some gummies or something that helps you out with pain.
For sure.
I'd prefer. Just to get your opinion on this, right? 'Cause liquor is legal anywhere, right? There's a lot of liquor stores out there, right?
Every corner.
But we feel like, especially us in Framingham, dude, we are seeing every
corner there's
a dispensary, right?
Which is
so
crazy.
What do you think, in your opinion, right? Like, what do you think the not really the damage, but like, what do you think
The negative side effects.
The repercussions.
No, but like,
repercussions,
what do you think the like?
Wait, are you trying to say for cannabis or for alcohol?
For cannabis.
So what, like
compared to alcohol.
Oh, okay. So like, if both, like, which one is worse?
No, not necessarily that. But what I'm saying is just like, what do you think that comparing to like liquor is marijuana is gonna do in the industry?
In a sales aspect?
Yeah.
I think the industry is saturated. It's very saturated. They're, like you're saying, it's like Dunkin' Donuts. There's one on every corner.
I feel that.
And that can be good in some ways because each dispensary can offer something different. However, it's like fighting.
That can always
for
mix up the
sales.
bad business with the good business.
Gang cannabis wars.
It can close down certain dispensaries if you're not making enough money while you're taking in this product and you're not selling enough, or you have to sell it cheaper, then you're going to lose out on money. So I think that's probably one of the biggest threats to having so many dispensaries out there.
Oh, I see. Have you ever thought about opening your own?
No.
Would you?
No.
I think it's too much of a headache.
It's a lot. I know a lot about cannabis, but I don't know that much.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you plan on like this being kind of like your career
Your
path
career?
for the rest of your life, or is it kind of just something where right now you want
a
to learn as
hobby
much
and-
as you can about it to maybe invest in something else or transfer into something else later?
I'd say within the next 3 to 5 years, I'd really like to be an event planner for cannabis. I'd like to throw the parties, bring the community together.
You want to bring out your
teach-
creative way.
Yeah,
into it.
get my artistic side into it. So I'd say within 3 to 5 years, I
And
would
your
love to
adventurous
be about
side too,
that.
right?
Yeah. Bring in people. I go to a lot of music festivals and stuff, so I like to see.
You said music festival?
Yeah.
I love that shit. Yeah.
It's fun. But I think if I were to jump to another industry, it'd either be for myself for my art, or I kind of was thinking maybe going into psychedelics once that comes around.
I actually wanted to ask you about
Being
that.
like a trip advisor, kind of like easing.
So
A trip advisor, bro.
Yeah.
That's fire.
that's fire.
I do smoke like marijuana now. Like, were you down to smoke with me? And that was a big breakthrough in like our relationship,
Yeah.
because we got to sit down and be high together, whatever it
And
was,
you're
and
like-
just have like a fun moment. We're
right.
cracking jokes. We're just like talking about like the funniest shit, and it's like, it's
Nice.
definitely a
I think developmentally, you want to be safe. Like they need to reach a certain age,
Yeah.
so that their brain is developed,
100%.
I'll
their
definitely-
body's
100%.
developed.
I'll definitely say this though. Social media, internet, and schools nowadays is unfortunately ruining our kids.
Yeah.
And I don't have kids, but I can see it from
the younger generation.
the younger generation is growing. I can see it. I mean, the other day I was hanging out.
China. It's
I was
TikTok.
hanging out at a family party, bro, and a little kid that was 11 years old was saying that sixth graders were in the bathroom, like, doing crazy shit. And I was like, what the hell? This is like Worcester High School. I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? And then
Well, the internet opens up. It's literally the world
so
at your fingertips.
this is where I was
Literally.
gonna say. My opinion on what you just said is I rather me introduce whatever it is to my kids because I know that me introducing has the best intentions behind it.
Yeah.
Because when the world introduces something to you, not always it has the best intentions in that introduction.
So ready?
I
Can
believe that
I
too.
give you a devil's advocate?
Yeah, please
opinion
do.
Right now? So I love that you said that. I do think that's like a
Because the world,
valid-
bro,
Yeah.
like my friends introducing me to drugs was probably the unsafest and the most craziest way possible.
Peer pressure.
But if
but-
my dad ever keeps introducing me something, I'm pretty sure he would have the best intentions and even
Yeah.
showing me that.
But
You
okay,
know
so
what I
ready
mean?
now. Let's say that, for example, your dad introduces your mom, whatever, and having the best intentions. But let's say, just random example, you introduce your son, daughter to marijuana, whatever it is, and they somehow get into a path where they let the marijuana control their life, or they start doing worse things.
They would do that
Are
no
you
matter
gonna-
what if that was
Bro,
supposed to
I
happen.
disagree.
High school would
I disagree.
do that to
I
them.
disagree. My youngest brother does not like to smoke. He barely likes to drink. My
Yeah,
middle
that's
brother,
his choice.
but he was introduced to it. It wasn't me that introduced it. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like it's really a matter of like how
Yeah,
their
he
life
has a point.
experience is gonna be. Because like think about
Yeah.
it can go, but that's right, it can go either way. How are you gonna feel if you're the one that introduced it to your son, daughter, whatever it is, and then later on you're like, damn, because I showed them that it maybe put them on this path.
But
of
let
not-
me tell you this though, on docs. I think introduction has nothing to do because no matter the knowledge of it will always come.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, that's the point. Let's take the introduction or not introduction away. The knowledge is always going to come, and the acknowledgement of what that is going to come at some point, no matter what.
Okay.
So my point to you is this: if I can save that knowledge to come from a peaceful and clean way instead of a party in a responsible way,
especially how social media
especially
introduces
nowadays
it.
how it is, I would prefer for it to come from a clean and filtered way, as in me, than him just hearing it from his friends and trying to be
I feel
cool.
that, and especially
because
like-
once he gets to a party and his friends are like, yo, I already know about all that. My dad talked to me about it. I like that.
He'll know
that's
what
not
he's
new
doing.
for
Yeah,
me.
bro,
anymore.
I
that's
have a
true.
question.
That's
But why does it have such a bad look though?
What, drugs in general?
No, marijuana in
Marijuana?
general. Yeah.
Reefer madness.
What
is it? What do you
I was
think?
about to say
That's
that.
from the 60s.
Like
That's
me,
from the
yo,
60s.
no. For example, today, right? Me smoking on live. Why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing. It's
So-
just that some people can literally be like, yo, what the hell?
She said,
What did
tell
you say?
us about the reefer madness thing, because that is
Why do
very
people
true in
feel so
history.
uncomfortable?
propaganda,
Yep.
fear mongering.
Fear-mongering, yep.
It's real.
Elaborate.
Yeah. I just think that the stigma lives in the older generations because of that. Because
That's why I
it
said
was,
the whole generation has to die before
the-
we even change things.
no, I don't think that.
They have to educate
really
themselves,
don't.
not die.
No, not literally die. Like tomorrow, I'm saying like has to die out, as in like the
I know what you're
generation has to
saying.
die out. That's what I'm
the
saying.
idea.
Yeah,
The idea needs
Yes.
to
because
be
our
gone.
generation doesn't think like that anymore.
Yeah. No,
But it's because we were educated
grew
on
up-
it. Yeah.
Right. We grew up with it.
I mean, I'd say that we were
We're on the-
conditioned,
yes.
honestly. Like, let's think about it, because it's like, up until what, the 90s? Like,
think it's ignorance.
It wasn't a thing. Like, it wasn't in the movies as big.
But at
you
that,
know?
but it got to a point too where at the end of the day there wasn't such medical knowledge behind it, so people didn't really know what it did besides getting high and having
Yeah.
fun. Now there's a whole medical side to it where that's why we're so okay with
Up till
it,
the
because we
end.
know that there's bro, you could literally smoke 10 pounds of weed. I don't think you'll ever die from overdosing on weed, would you?
No.
I don't think so.
You have to smoke like a lot to overdose on weed.
It's like something like 3,000 grams
You know what
within
I
like
mean?
an hour.
So it's like
Yeah.
that's my point. And like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, people back then didn't have that, so they thought it was a drug.
Right?
Right, it's uneducation. It's
Watch
just
it.
like and
Ignorance.
that's literally my job is to educate
Educate.
people and to destigmatize or just have a safe offering. The dispensaries are a safe choice. for
Yes,
that.
it's a clean way to
Yeah.
You know where
It's-
it's coming from.
Yeah, there's literally tests.
Dude, dude, oh my god, dude, marijuana itself is a cure to so many things,
Yeah,
bro.
for sure.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
like especially like canceling out prescribed like medication, bro.
Yeah.
Something that really hurts you, bro. Like doing like something naturally, people don't really look at that aspect.
No, I think run back real quick. So when you brought up the reefer madness thing, also during that time, like I watched, I forgot what documentary it was, but it was like about the whole reefer madness thing. It was a pro
Wait, elaborate.
cannabis.
I literally don't know what that is.
Pro cannabis.
I feel
I'll
so
break it
stupid
down a
right
little bit.
It's a
So,
movie.
I don't know what it is.
so what it was at that time, and this is what I think the whole reefer madness thing came from was cannabis itself was like I think just I don't know how they figured out you could smoke it, but it's hemp. Hemp literally can be made into like
Multiple
anything,
things. Yeah, it's like
anything.
give me paper out. Yep.
So
Yeah.
so during this time, people were
what's that?
figuring that out and they were starting to make these things. But what has always been around as well, and they have monopolized the world for making things, oil, big oil companies, right? And what oil makes is plastic, this, blah, 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 and they make everything. So when they're like, wait a minute, we can't let hemp take us over. It's cheaper, it's produced faster, it's clean. So they're like, wait a minute, we're gonna start pushing out all this propaganda that reefer madness. People are smoking weed and going crazy. People are smoking weed and robbing. People are smoking weed and
Really?
killing. So it starts pushing this propaganda of it's bad, it's bad, it's bad,
idea.
it's bad, it's bad. So when people are seeing this in the TV, and during this time too, TVs were like a new
main
thing.
source of,
so
like,
you're at
tobacco.
home, yeah. Go ahead.
The tobacco companies. too.
Another one. Yep,
Yeah.
very true.
The show.
So I did some research, guys. The lethal dose for somebody like an average man, right, 155 pounds, right, for him to die, off of smoking marijuana, he needs to smoke about 1,500 pounds.
Jesus.
Imagine
So,
what that
like-
looks like.
Bro, that's probably Wiz Khalifa today.
No,
1,500
listen,
pounds?
They
Come
did,
on.
They did an experiment on monkeys, right? And they
even, bro.
and they injected them intravenously with
they have them with
1.2
that- they have them with
1.2
masks.
kilos, guys. 1.2 kilos of THC into monkeys, and they didn't die. So
That's crazy.
Think
Wow.
about that.
That's
So,
Intravenous
Brooke,
1.2 kilo. That's
another
a
awesome-
fuck lot of weed, dog.
yo, can someone mute Briggs' mic, please? Anyways, Brooke, another beautiful thing that I think about marijuana is, especially nowadays when I walk into the dispensary and I see the dispensary is full, is that it don't matter who you are, old, young, businessmen, like younger,
So
like you
diverse.
can see like suited guys, you
Yeah.
can see grannies, you can see grandpas,
Yep.
you see people like literally like coming off work, like you can see so many different types of humans in
walks
there.
of
So
life.
diverse, bro.
All
Yeah.
walking in there and just chilling and just enjoying the same vibe.
Yep.
And that's like it's like the world is changing so much when it comes to that.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's fire to see it.
I see all kinds of people, and I love the stories too.
I was gonna say, what is like the coolest story you've heard from these people? Bring one up if you have one. If you have one, that's like funny as hell, or something that happened at the dispensary that you're like, bro, this day was crazy.
Probably so many.
The days were always really crazy when we first started. I think the most interesting one that I had seen was I had someone come up to me. This was for recreational, and this person was from Florida. And we talked, and they were so excited to be there. They bought their whole ounce. We probably spent like a half hour together.
Really?
Yeah, and then was
It's dope,
common. It was
yeah.
common that like you would go up to your bud tender and be like, "Hey, this is like, give me the best. Like this is what I have going on. I need something for this, and that, you know." And that was our job.
It's like
to
a therapy,
consult.
like, type thing, yeah.
As a consultant, and so me and this woman talked for close to a half hour, and she knew nothing about cannabis. And then at the end of the sale, she leaned in and she's like, "Please don't tell anybody, but I'm a cop in Florida." And I was like,
That's
"Okay, cool. Like, I
That's
really hope
fucking
this
badass.
helps you, and I hope that it heals you and you enjoy it. And
That's
please come back."
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's like because Florida was like extremely against marijuana until like last year.
I mean, no, there's still
Yeah, they still are, bro.
No, but
what's it called?
recreational is starting to become like a
It's
thing there now.
decriminalized, but it's not like legal.
Legal, like recreational.
It's not recreational yet.
No,
It's-
no.
Buy it in
I'm
the
not
store.
sure.
Guys,
Went to last time I went to a dispensary. They had a sign out front, right, where it said, if you come in with a fake ID, we will take it, confiscate it, and we will call the police, right? So then that like kind of just got me thinking, like, oh, if they have that there, because I've seen other ones that don't have, like most of them don't have that. I'm like, okay, this place, something happened here where they had to put that sign out front.
Yeah.
And then in my head for that moment, I just thought like, well, what are like the negative? Because we talk about a lot of the positives, and I love that because there are more positive than negatives for sure. But what are the negatives you think in having such easy access to it? Being that like the younger generation are going to be more inclined to try it, and then like kind of. So, like for example, let's say someone that's in elementary school or middle school, they get to class or whatever, they're in school, and they're like, "Oh, let's go to the bathroom real quick. I have a dispensary pre-roll that
Yeah.
this person bought for me, or I
Because
have
it's more
this."
accessible.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think that it is more accessible to, you could leave a couple joints hidden somewhere in your drawer and your kid might go through your drawer
Mm-hmm.
and find it, you know? We've always, in the dispensaries, been like, please keep this away from children. Everything's child-proof.
Oh yeah,
Everything's
those
like,
bags
Yeah.
are
as
secure.
it's adult-proof. They're very difficult to
Literally.
open.
No, literally.
So hard to
I've had
open them.
bags where I'm like half an hour trying like scissors.
Yeah.
I've literally broke
Yeah.
bags.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I guess, like you were saying before, it's going to come
Education.
down, yep, with education, and it's going to go through the grapevine. They're going to
sure.
they're going to find it if they want it, I
Yeah,
guess.
I think it's definitely more positive than negative because even though they have easier access to it, there's also the easier access to
education.
information. Yes.
Yeah.
So
For
like,
sure.
for example, if like the person does like have a brother or sister, mom, dad that is like, they're like, oh, we go to the dispensary, and they're like, what is that, mom? What's in that tube? They'd be like, well, you know, son, it's this, and this.
Bro,
da, da, da.
I mean,
I've lived the evolution of marijuana in a society like greatly through my own home. You know, I mean, like I told you at first, the beginning of this conversation, my parents found out I smoked weed. Oh my God, Richard's a drug addict. What the fuck? I raised the fucking criminal. Like, holy shit. Like, the world's done.
Yeah.
I swear, like my dad cried and like
my
it was
gosh.
bad.
Wow.
My dad did not talk to me for 3 months straight because he
Ooh.
thought like it was bad. Like
That's
he would
rough.
ignore me inside the house. It was bad. It's tough. No, it was a tough time.
And then
but
you're high and feeling guilty.
Bro, literally, I mean, still smoking every day.
Is he mad at me? Because
Still
you know I'm
smoking
baked.
it every day, bro. But then it's funny because now, I mean, I'm 28 years old, 27 years old, and I mean, 3 years ago, I went to Brazil and I got to smoke a joint with my dad. And my dad now like
That's
sees
crazy.
it. It's insane,
That's
bro. You know what I
so
mean? Like
crazy.
my dad, I rolled a blunt next to my dad, and my dad's like, "Yo, yeah. So I hung out with my friends here today, and I tried it for the first time, and it's kind of cool." And I was like, "Oh, you smoke
Dude,
it!"
you know what's funny? He definitely lied to you about trying it for the first time with his friends. You know, he's been talking for like
Bro,
the past
so no, bro.
2
My
years,
dad,
he's
my
like,
dad.
You know what? I'm gonna tell Richie I did it. Then one time,
Bro.
just so I don't sound like.
He's been talking the whole time. But no, but my dad's like really straight
Tell
up
me
with
now,
that
yeah.
shit, and he was 100% like against it. My mom's super religious, like that's just that side of it. So just like your mom, like
Yeah,
you know how our parents are. So to see the change, like, and my mom got to a point where she stopped smoking so much weed all the time. She was like, "All right, I'd rather know that you're smoking at my house than smoking away from my house." And
Oh,
so
yeah.
she'd be okay with me go outside and smoke and do
Yep.
my thing, as long as I respected to not bring weed in the house.
Yeah.
So I would always have to leave it outside. She could never smell weed in the house. And if I'm home, I'm getting home baked, I have to go straight to the shower and clean myself so I don't smell like it.
Do your laundry.
So, and they're like, if you respect it, as long as you
to put my
respect
clothes in the
us,
bag.
we'll respect you. dude.
Mutual.
And my
Yeah.
father has seen the progression of my life and seen that marijuana has not changed who I am as a businessman, as a responsible guy, as a man,
So
whatever
many
it is.
successful stoners out there.
Exactly.
So many.
Look at all
So-
these famous, like, not just celebrities, but like you see the people.
Look at this fuck.
You see the people like in the industry that do our
So-
success from it. Like they talk about it, and
Guys,
they're just like, dude,
Weed
this
helps
helps
me
me.
out a lot.
Yeah.
Like it really does. Like my
Yeah.
anxiety levels to a different. Like you guys see how I
Yo,
am.
so
But
I'm glad that you point that out, right? So do you think that like weed is a very good like medicine for anxiety?
yes,
For sure.
yes.
100%.
Yes, and, dude, I mean, let me get vulnerable right now. I have panic attacks that I will crumble onto the floor and I can't move. It sucks.
crazy.
Like you don't know how
Feel
to
like
get
the
out of
world
it. Like
is
it's,
crumbling.
you feel like, dude, you
Yeah.
literally, I crumble to the floor and I can't move, and it sucks. And the only way I come is if someone comes and literally touches me and touches my body and like it
Lying.
gets me back to it, and starts talking to me calmly and
Yeah,
like gets
bring
me
you
back
back.
to it. Marijuana,
Grounds
bro.
you.
Like if I'm starting to feel that I'm gonna get that way, I'll smoke, I'll chill, and I'll just lay down and relax and try my
Yeah.
best to ease out of it. And it has helped me out with that
Yeah, that's
tremendously, like tremendously. But I 100% believe, bro. There's a beautiful side to marijuana. I think, of course, there's a time where it's like the Bible says, right? Everything you do too much of becomes a problem, and that's not just because it's a religious thing. It's a life
Yeah.
thing. Everything you do too much of becomes a problem, right?
Facts.
If you're on the computer too much, it's gonna become a problem. If you're on your iPhone too much, it's gonna become a problem. If you smoke too much, it's gonna become a problem. If you drink too much, it's gonna become a problem.
you exercise
if
too
you
much, it could be a
exercise too
problem.
much, it can be a
Yeah.
problem. Whatever it is,
your body, yeah.
bro. If you drink too much water, you can die. Like you can literally drown yourself by drinking too much water. Like it's the truth. Like water is the main thing we need in our body. If you drink too much of it, you can drown your body. So it's like
you can die from water poisoning.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
real.
That's
So
high
at the end of the
quality
day,
H2O.
bro, it's like
A bit fire
I think everything in
to
life is
die.
a balance. It's why we open this podcast, is to talk about balance. It's because having a balance between all 5 pillars of life, Brooke. That's
Yeah.
why we said we wanted to do this.
Nice.
Having a balance in love life, career, spiritual, physical, mental, and all those 5 pillars going on. And at the end of the day, like, that's what I think. I think, guys, if you're implementing these things that we're talking about here with cannabis or with THC or with CBD or anything that we've talked about today, I mean, it all goes back to how you're implementing it to your own self. Your own body has a way it's going to react to it. Your own mind has a way it needs it. So be responsible. We're not here incentivizing anybody to do anything. But
Yeah.
of course, if you think something's going to help you, go get information about it.
Yeah,
There's
educate yourself.
there's
Trust your
professionals like
gut.
Brooke out there who are really putting their best and their best energy and their best time to truly help people out there. Look at a 30-minute conversation with the guest you didn't even know.
Yeah.
You didn't do that for no
Yeah.
reason. You did that because you really care
Passion.
about what you
Yeah,
do.
for sure.
You know, and I know there's plenty of people in that industry who really do. I've been treated amazingly in dispensaries and people who actually took their time to explain things
It's
to me.
always loving people,
It
right,
is, bro. It is. It's
Honestly, bro,
amazing.
it's always.
Listening. People just want to be heard.
So yeah. So one advice I have for you, even if you're closed-minded about it, is just be an open-minded person. You don't have to take everything in. I say this all the time. You can be a sponge. Take everything in. You don't have to keep everything in. You can throw away what you don't think is good, but keep inside what you think is not. But now it's at least one more thing you're not ignorant about.
Yes.
It's tough for you to decide something and to have an opinion on something if you're just ignorant and just going by what other people say. So go to professionals like Brooke. people who are amazing and taking their time to truly educate people out there. And again,
Someone.
if you guys didn't get enough here, we're going to be putting her Instagram also on the description, so you guys can also message her directly. She has her personal page, she has her artistic page. Brooke, can you bring out those Instagrams? What are the handles on those Instagrams?
So my cannabis one's gonna be Babs_N_Dabs.
Love it.
Babs.
So Babs and Dabs.
Babs and dabs.
Yep. And
So
then
cool.
my other one is Brooklyn Babe 33.
Let's go, Brooklyn Babe 33.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So I actually want just to kind of like wrap it up and everything. I want to ask you, just because I feel like I don't know if we asked this. I'm a first, let's say, just example. I'm a first time, never used it. I come to you as like the educated person on cannabis, and I come to you, I'm like, okay, so I've never smoked before. I want to get into it. What should I do? Should I go with flower? Should I go with edibles? What do you suggest for me? I just want to, go home, just hang out, be able to chill with my family or just whatever it is and just vibe out, not be too crazy. What would you recommend to the person as their first time wanting to try marijuana?
I think
Don't smoke at all.
I think low and slow. Like start really small, work your way up, listen to your body. Everyone's different, so everyone's gonna come in with a different question
yeah, for
like
sure.
that. So I just say start small, really, and just kind of make sure you're educating yourself. Take the pamphlets that are inside of the dispensaries. Talk to the bud tenders. That's why they're there. They go to training for it.
so you guys actually go to trainings and everything.
Yeah, well, we do training when we get hired, and there's like monthly trainings that we have to follow
Sweet.
up with, and stay educated.
Educated, yeah.
What would you say is the best, or if even there is one, the best first method to get into? Would you say just flower or? Because personally, like
Dutch in the woods.
just from my own experiences, I would never recommend edibles. I love edibles,
Yeah.
but if you've never done, if
can be
you've never,
debilitating.
yeah, it's very.
Brooke, I heard you have some gifts for us and some little surprises.
do. Yes,
we
I
definitely
do.
bring them up here in the live. I
Okay.
definitely want to see it.
Wait, is it that box?
There is some in there.
Okay.
The that one right there too.
no, that,
Oz.
no, that one's good. No, it's just that. It's just that. Pick
Yeah.
up
Oh,
on
it's
that.
just that.
That
Okay,
and
cool.
this.
Pick up on that.
We'll take it. We'll take
The
it.
shell, the fail.
Yo, Richie, so you're going to tell us about your first time or what?
Thank you.
So my first time smoking weed, I was 12 years old.
12?
Yeah, bro.
Dude, I actually have a first time story. Those are my homies.
Attic.
I was 13.
Let's check out these gifts over here. Hi, I'm excited.
The whole reason that I'm even on this podcast is because my friend Jess was on here, like we were saying.
Shout out,
before.
Jess.
But this gentleman was wearing a Khalifa Kush hat, and I was like, hey, that's my company. And then so I reached out and I was like, this is amazing. And so I wanted to give this to you guys.
Guys, we were at. You remember when we went to the Khalifa Kush event, guys? We were there the same time as Brooke, and we did not get to meet her. Like it was her event.
help me
She helped
open
them
this.
plan it out, and we unfortunately we're not gonna meet her. But look at how the paths cross, and now she's here
I
and
think
being
it's
able to
upside
share
down.
this with
Is it
us.
upside down?
Oh, no, it's good.
And Brooke, can you tell them what this
This
is?
camera right here.
Yeah. So this is a signed poster from Khalifa Kush. He signed them at the event,
The other
and I
camera,
had,
Richie, this
I had
one.
an extra, so I thought I'd bring it.
Can you put it to the middle, please?
Yep, there it is.
Very nice.
And how many of these?
Beautiful.
And around me there's 10.
Look at that. Let's go! Oh
la la.
Fire!
So there's that, and then I also have a couple. I only have 3. However, these are the Good News disposable vape pens. Yeah, so they're the terpene base with THC inside of them, and there's about 150 hits inside.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, so you guys can check those out.
Thank you.
This is our newest one. Free Spirit, it's mango.
Can I
Those
get that one?
ones- Yeah, try them. Share
I'm
them.
taking that one.
Share them too.
Just kidding. I might have
I was
smoked
about to say, Andre, you don't smoke anymore. Swing that.
So the vapes are more concentrated. For people that don't know, the vapes are a little bit more concentrated versus smoking like flower. But yeah, they're pretty tasty. I enjoy them.
Fire, Brooke. Thank you so much.
You're
we
welcome.
really appreciate it.
Fire.
And-
Show her.
Guys, like I said, if you have any other questions to Brooke about cannabis and everything, and her artistic side too, because again, she is amazing. Go check out her profile. Like, this woman is amazing. Her energy,
Thank
her
you.
vibes, everything. And
Very,
I'm so glad we got to cross our paths and have you
you.
here. I mean, now that you've been
Same.
here for that we've been talking for like what, over an hour now. How's the couch? Do you like the couch?
I'm sunken right now. I love the vibes. I love the couch.
Awesome.
The couch
We always-
stays.
Brooke,
We always give it a we always give an opportunity to our guests to always put out a last message, an advice, or something out there for all our listeners. Is there something you would like to say?
Yeah, I'd say that just remember that the universe has your back. No matter what, you're not alone. Just stay positive and happy and do what you're passionate about, because it will lead to really great, beautiful things.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Shama.
What does that mean?
It means so it translates literally to
It means let's go.
call, like, but it's like a
let's go. Let's go.
Say Shama. Shama.
Say Shama.
Shama.
Guys, that was episode 40. Put with the kid. Let's go. That was episode 40, guys. We're so excited to have another wonderful episode with another beautiful, amazing woman coming out here, bringing us amazing knowledge, killing it in life. You said it. You've been out here in the grind since you're 16 on your own. Brooke, let me let you know about something about myself. I also been living on my own since I was 16, chasing life and making things happen. And I know it doesn't get easy. I know the path is not always light. But one thing I want to say to you is keep up what you're doing. I can feel the energy of
awesome.
coming from you.
Thanks, guys.
And I
Appreciate
wish
that.
nothing but the best in your journey, that you may come across plenty of people and keep helping souls and people out there who truly need a great vibe like you.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. And let's go, guys. Episode 40. One more episode of High Power Podcast. If you guys have not yet, I want to talk about one quick sponsor before we finish. Keep the music on. That's all right. Ivan's Collision Center, guys. They're the best place ever if anything happens to your vehicle. Let's say, I already say this every time, they make your inconvenience convenient. At the end of the day, they got your best interest, family-owned business. Again, ivan.collision.center. Anything you need from the moment you crash your car to the moment where your car is looking brand new again, he's got your back. Hit him up, ivan.collision.center. Aftermarket, getting your car cleaned, details, anything you need. At the end of the day, tinting as well, aftermarket installation. This guy does it all. Ivan's Collision.center. He will help you in Portuguese, Spanish, and English. He's got always your best interest, what makes your inconvenience convenient. And let's go. High Power episode 40. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. And always make sure to turn on your notifications so you know what else is dropping.
Yes.
One thing before merch. We have our website with the events, pictures, and everything coming out on Monday. That's the final date. Monday, everything will be live with our merch, with the pictures and the videos. We're super excited. Highempowered.com. Let's go.
Shout out Brooke one more time.
Shout out to Brooke.
Thank you, Brooke, so much.
Now I can hear myself. I pitch is funny, man. It's Briggy, baby.
Bitch, you want my best friend. Bitch, you want my best friend. I can't even fuck with you. Acting like some misfits, but you still my rider, boo. I ain't never did sin. Fuck with me or bother you. Shoot but never miss it. I am still in love with you. Empty out my clip.